Kendrick Lamar has spent the last several years cementing his place as not just one of the great hip-hop artists of our time, but as one of the greatest rappers of all time.
Yeah. Hold up.
His latest track, Humble, is quite a departure from the more jazz-oriented sounds that we heard on his last two major projects, To Pimp a Butterfly and Untitled Unmastered.
The facts of your friendship based on business, pension, more pension, your pension, my consensus, been relentless, fuck forgiveness, fuck your feelings.
Like the songs I and Backseat Freestyle before it, Humble takes on some new meaning when it's contextualized within Kendrick's new album. Specifically, it stands as a bit of a contrast to the song Pride.
Sit down.
The contrast between the chorus and the verses is Humble's obvious focal point. While the chorus exclusively preaches humility, almost all of the verse lines give us Kendrick acting anything but humble. There's a ton to be said about these bars, but I want to first look at the one major section that I think really bucks the trend.
I'm so fucking sick and tired of the Photoshop. Show me something natural like Afro with your pride. Show me something natural like ass with some stretch marks. Still a take you down right on your mama couch in polo sock.
That bit stands out because it seems to be the one major verse section where he really gives a relatively sincere delivery. And on my first several listens, it was really my favorite part of the song. In a genre so often dominated by the misogynistic lyrics of male artists, I was excited by Kendrick's apparent rejection of unrealistic and anti-black beauty standards. But after taking some time to digest this section, I think it's become the source of my one real criticism of the track. His rejection of the Photoshop resembles the message of his song No Makeup, off of his 2011 album Section 80.
Damn girl, why so much? You about to blow your cover when you cover up. Don't you know your imperfections is a wonderful blessing from heaven is where you got it from. I love your smile, you can do it without style. From your lips all the way to your eyebrows. It's the beauty in her, but when the makeup occur, I don't see it, all I see is a blur.
My disagreement with Kendrick stems from his disapproval of the very idea of Photoshop and makeup, rather than the societal pressures that make them feel necessary. But something that he did in this song, which he doesn't do again in Humble, is have Keisha give her perspective.
I feel like it's not enough. I can never put on too much makeup. Yeah, I know
your imperfections.
I be constantly stressing. From him is where I get it from. They tell me I need
a smile
at least once in a while. I hate my lips, my nose, my
eyebrows.
It's the beauty in me, but what he don't see is that I had a black eye.
While Kendrick seems to be presenting the desires to compensate for either insecurities or acts of violence as valid reasons for a woman to alter her appearance, the fundamental flaw lies in him trying to appraise which reasons are valid to begin with. Kendrick isn't perfect. He isn't a woman, and he isn't a black woman, and neither am I. The fact that he has espoused this view multiple times, and the fact that I had been so initially impressed by it, shows that we both have ways in which we should continue to grow, and be educated by those with better perspectives. To that end, I think that Kendrick is at his best lyrically when he touches on issues where he is the one with the better perspective, and Humble certainly has plenty of those moments.
This that great poop on that AV on that TED Talk. Watch my soul speak, you let the meds talk.
With that section, Kendrick became the latest in a long line of rappers to reference Grey Poupon, and that part of the video even recreates this classic commercial.
Pardon me, would you have any Grey Poupon?
But of course.
Grey Poupon, Evian Water, and TED Talks are all essentially status symbols, and so on one level they play into the song's braggadocious overtones. But also notable is the fact that, unlike in the original ad, Kendrick hands off and shares his Grey Poupon, rather than drive off with it himself. This exchange reminded me of something that Tupac had told Kendrick as part of their synthetic interview at the end of Mortal Man.
I made millions for a lot of people, now it's time to make millions for myself, you know what I'm saying? I made millions for the record companies, I made millions for these movie companies, now I make millions for us.
I think that the way that Tupac said us at the end, after initially saying myself, reflects on Kendrick's situation as well. While he certainly found success for himself and even expressed guilt because of it, his ever-present message of giving back to the Mad City is manifested even in these small visual cues. The other part of that section, where he mentions letting the meds talk, is continued with the conclusion to the song's last verse.
If I kill a nigga, it won't be the alcohol. Ay, I'm the realest nigga after all. Bitch, be humble.
I really like this bit for some of Kendrick's classic double meanings. On the one hand, Kendrick wraps up the verse by yet again calling out some of his contemporaries as being driven by the meds rather than their souls, while simultaneously asserting both his greatness and his hardness by stating that it wouldn't just be drunken belligerence that could explain away his killing of somebody. At the same time though, he's kind of subtly doubling down on his rejection of drugs and alcohol, a major topic that he explored on Good Kid, Mad City. It's important to note that when he talks about killing here, he's mostly referring to murdering other rappers, which definitely fits in with the repeated calls to sit down. This isn't the first time that he said something along those lines. The second track of Untitled Unmastered, which was my favorite from the album, features a similar message.
Fuck you niggas, level 2, I'm not done. 2 T's told me that I'm the one. I can put a rapper on life support. Guarantee that's something none of you want. 10 homies down and they also...
That lyrical theme isn't the only commonality that stands out to me between the two songs. While the beats behind them aren't necessarily similar, and the jazz influence is certainly still present in the Untitled track, both songs feel a little bit more accessible and more like bangers than the music we often get from Kendrick. Damn seems to have moved in this direction as well, but I've only given it a few listens so far, and I need to digest it some more. Even though I think that To Pimp a Butterfly is one of the best albums I've ever heard, what I love about Kendrick as an artist is his ability to change things up with each project he pursues. Thanks for listening to my thoughts. I'm gonna go listen to Damn some more.
Love's gonna get you killed, but pride's gonna be the death.